Hello everybody. I thought today I would show you how the houseplants are doing because I think I filmed that last video, let me see, was it October time? Maybe late September? So it's a good 6 months on. I'd like to show you how everything's still doing. I will break it to you now. There were some losses along the way, particularly the orchids, but I have a brand new one to show you and it's my favourite one yet. Also, little new update, I got a little fluffy thing for my mic. Hey, little fluff muff thing. Over the winter, I filmed about, I want to say 3 or 4 videos outside. A couple where I was just sitting down talking, a couple where I was doing a few errands outside. The reason you aren't seeing the videos is because of 2 main reasons. Either on the day, wind or surrounding noise or something was an issue and it didn't feel right to post, the quality wasn't good enough, or the videos just didn't feel like me. I sat and spoke about a couple of topics, but it honestly just didn't feel me, it didn't feel positive, and I don't know, it didn't really give the right vibe in my opinion. So there's a lot of catching up to do, there's a lot for me to let you know about regarding houseplants, what my plan is for the year and how I'm going to be taking care of these guys. The soil may look dry, but there's a reason for that. It's because I have, with some of them, not watered them specifically because I knew I was going to be filming this today. They're looking very good actually. Let me just get a little bit of water on them. It will also take the dust off the leaves and then we can actually see if they need any plant feed, because I only did it once since I filmed that last video and I feel like these guys need a little bit more. So let me go and get the hose, 1 second. I'm really hoping the hose, does it go all the way to here? Yes it does. Alright, let's just give this a little wash. This, oh, I've just knocked off a thing, never mind. Now this could look a little bit greener, but I'm not too worried. It's still looking pretty healthy. There's some yellowing on the leaves, so I feel like it could be a little bit magnesium deficient. But otherwise, I think it's okay. It could do with a little bit of a prune. That's what I'm going to be doing today, is picking out some of the new shoots so I can put some energy into some others. And then we'll see how it goes over the next few months. I cannot quite believe we're in April. This past 6 months have gone so quick that it's almost scary. Let me just check which one's the right one with the boss. Hang on. Before I do any plant feed, I want to show you how different these can look. So this is here, older stems. So I think these I originally picked, they were about that long. So maybe, let's say like that long in length. And I picked these, I think, summer of 2022. So this year, these will turn 4 years old. And you can see how the stems become sort of brown and slightly woody, whereas these haven't yet, and that's because these are younger. I think these are only maybe a year to like 2 years old. And you can see the difference in the leaves as well. They're a bit darker. This is probably a little bit healthier, and these have started to go a little bit lighter. And it's running out of energy to put into the leaves because it's so focused on building this, is what I assume is happening. These will bounce back though. I don't have any worries about this. Succulents are so strong of a plant. I mean, these things survive where there's barely any water. So I'm not in any way worried about these. It's just a case of getting them looking at their best just for the presentation purposes. But as you can see here, this is also looking lovely and healthy too. Exactly the same plant, cuttings from the same plant as well. I can actually show you some more cuttings I'm going to take today, but how different it can look just based on the age of the plant, how often they are pruned and changed, and just their living environments as well. I'm going to do this over here so I can have a damp side and a dry side. See, these are becoming a little bit top heavy as well, so I need to work out how to make these stand up a little bit more straight. I'm going to be using this, I'm not affiliated by the way, just to clarify. I'm going to be using this. This is a slow release plant feed. Every time you water it, they basically dissolve a little bit in the soil and put some nutrients in the soil for the plants. It's the best way of doing it, I think. Sorry about how loud the birds are, by the way. I've recorded this take about 3 times, waiting for it to stop making noise and it's not. But anyway, I'm going to be pruning these 2 houseplants a little bit differently. Not so much for concern of the plant, just for aesthetic reasons and trying to get them look at their best, even though they look totally different because they're both in different stages. I would go and show you the main plant, but it's in the house, it's way too big to move, and I don't really want to be moving my camera. So instead, I'm just going to show you the cuttings I took. So as you can see here, there is some little pink tips to the edge of the plant. This and this is from the same plant, and yet they look completely different. And that's just because of where they are placed in the house. This one gets a little bit less light, this one gets more. It's also a newer plant, so it's putting more energy into the leaves, and it can completely change how the same plant and the same species of plant looks. So what I'm going to do is propagate these today and show you how I do it, so that if you have a family member or you yourself have one of these money plants, you can propagate it with the cuttings and not let them go to waste, and basically build more houseplants from just one. First things first though is taking care of these. We're going to come in with some plant feed. So what I'm going to do is wait for the wind to die down. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Once it's in, I'm just going to move it around in the soil a little bit and then put some fresh soil on top. This hasn't had feed for ages, so I'm not really worried about giving it too much in any way. Just going to put the lid back on that before I knock it over. Lovely stuff. And then I'm going to sprinkle some fresh potting mix over the top. I think I mentioned in the last video that I was considering putting some stones on the top of the plants just for decorative purposes, and I didn't. And the reason I haven't all winter, because there's less heat in the house because it's cooler and they're getting less sun, the plant's base, the soil here, is holding more water. And what you can get, especially if you've got stones on, it can kind of really build up and increase the odds of like root rot and other problems. So that's why I've left it. I might, if I can see some nice stones, get some for this summer. You'll always lose, by the way, a couple of leaves here and there. Please don't worry about it. What's good is the base of these plants are starting to get a little bit woody, as you can see here. So these will start to strengthen up pretty soon. Water that in. So this plant feed is in that little pellet form, and every time you water it, it dissolves that little bit more into the soil, and all the nutrients are in a bioavailable form, so the plants can then soak it up through the roots. So it's kind of a slow feed way of doing things. You can do a water-based plant feed, which is where you mix up some of the solution, put it in the water and let it soak, or just water it in. But I'm just doing this today as it's easier, because I don't have to worry about getting the right measurements and stuff. And it just does it over the next few months rather than me having to worry about doing it today. Now, let's work out what I want to do with these plants. I think I'll go and get my pruning clippers. Found them. For April, it was really warm the other day, and now it's all cold. So I might end up getting damp gloves, but never mind. You don't really need them. You can just kind of pinch stuff out, but some of the woody stems I just want to clear up here, so hopefully that this is in focus. So like this stem here, I want to trim, just for aesthetic reasons more than anything else. What I'm also going to do is pluck off just any of the yellowy sort of leaves, so it can put energy into some of the others. I might need one hand free. That's okay, so this is something I could trim, but I don't really want to because there's some new shoots coming in there. So it's all going to look a little bit ugly for a while, no offence. This will start to thicken up and I think look really amazing in a few months. I'd really, really love to have some cactuses. Every time I've looked at the garden centre, they don't look that healthy, and they're also really expensive for the kind of size that I want. You know, we'd be looking at like 20 to like 25, 30 pounds. And I'd want like a couple of them, and it's just too much of a financial layout right now. So that's one plant dealt with. Now let's try and work out what we're going to do here, shall we? What do I do with you? I think these big leaves on the underside need to come off because they are really weighing it down, and it's a shame because they are lovely. You can apparently propagate from the leaves. I've never tried it though. I always do something with a stem. I'm going to take that one off. And that one. And then let's take you. Really healthy though. All the leaves have a lot of water in them, so it's really well hydrated. and this always hurts to do this, but it is helpful for the plant, is I'm going to pinch out the newest leaves on the top. And what this can then do is put some energy back down here. So I'm going to pluck that out there. I'm going to take you, and I'm going to take you. And I just use my nail to kind of go in from the top like that. I'm going to leave these little ones here on the front. I'm going to leave those because they're fine for now. I'll just take that little spare one off. Yeah, I think that's okay. I'm going to take this leaf off here actually at the back, just because it's heavy and I can tell it's weighing it down. What I'm thinking of doing as well is either putting some stones in to hold these up, or take some thin orchid twigs and using some little clips to hold these up. I think I'm going to try the orchid method. Let me go and get what I need and then I'll show you. I bought what I thought was the most beautiful little miniature orchid I've ever seen. It lasted 2 weeks and then completely died on me. And the problem is, what they usually get is cold shock, where they come out of the supermarket and you just end up with a bunch of problems. What we do have is some orchid twigs and some clips that I can use for this. Ah, the sun's coming out a little bit, thank God. Right, I'm going to cut these in half. There we go. The clips might be a little bit small for this actually, but never mind. I just stick this in the soil, this side, like that. And then, what I'll probably do is take the smallest little branch. That will help it grow more upright. So I'm going to do that with all the rest of these. See how this stem is a little bit big for it? If I notice at any point that's becoming a problem, I have some bigger ones of these clips that I can just swap out. And then these ones in the middle, they hold up just fine, I think. There we go. Now it's a little bit more stable, as you can see. It doesn't move so much. And it will help these grow more upright. I've got one branch that is just too big. So what I'm going to do is just put some stones behind it and then it can lean into the twig. And that should, provided I put it in a window where the sun is this side, that should start to grow that way. These plants have still got a long way to go, but it will be interesting to see how they change over the next 6 months, and then we can take a look at them again and then see what we need to do. I'm going to do a little bit, I've also noticed there's a couple more bits in here that I need to trim, so I'm just going to do that now. I'm going to take this big stem out. And all I'm going to do is remove some of the leaves and put this in the soil anyway. See if it roots. And then I could have another little plant. There we go. 2 down, about 6 more to go. Now, I have someone that you all want to see. There's Ernie. There's our boy Ernie. He has shed a couple of, I don't know what these are called. I don't know if they're called leaves or not, tubes, whatever they are. But he's doing great. Let's have a look in here, Ernie. How you doing? You are a little bit clogged in the root section, my boy. I could do with repotting you, but I don't know if I have a pot. Welcome to the Claudie Plant Barbers. We're just going to be taking off a couple of stems here. There's also a little bit of yeast build up on here, like a, not mould, but it just creates like a little fungal thing. So, how are you, Ern? How's the wife? How's the kids? They're good? Take that off there. That's using up some of your energy that you don't need it to. Take that off. I don't know if these shoot. I don't know, I'll have to Google it. Because maybe I'll propagate them and see if we can get some little mini Ernies. Gonna take that little branch, keep that to the side. I need to take you out your pot, Ern. Thank you, lad. Let's just have a little clip here. Just going to sort of pluck any of these little low branches here. I'm going to take off that big one. Oh, look at you, you're shining, lad. You look lovely and dapper. It will build more of a trunk, which I think is actually going to be more helpful to the plant. And take those off. It thins it out a little bit, but it will all perk back up. And it will look like that. Which I think I'm just trying to create more of an angle. Also, would you like to see what this can become? My mum and dad have one of these. in their house, and I can show you what it looks like. One sec. This is what they can turn into. Hey, how cool is that? This is my mum and dad's. They've had it for 10 years plus probably, but it was maybe about half the size. But you know, this is what Ernie will become one day. Isn't it cool? I'll give you a little bit of a close-up, hang on. Oh, it's heavy. Hey? Nice, huh? Lovely. This is what I'm looking to get, is a bigger one. Then I can have Bert and Ernie, which is the plan. But I haven't really been to many garden centres over the winter, and any that I did go to either didn't have any of these, or they didn't look that great, to be honest, for the price they were asking. You can see here where my dad probably would have pruned some of the branches before, and then this all becomes like almost like a bark. It becomes like a trunk, and it thickens up and makes the plant stronger. So all in good time, Ernie will become this. I'm going to go and see if I have a bigger pot, because Ernie's a bit tight in there, and I want to help him out. No luck. All the pots are either broken and split and can't really be used, or they've been used for something else. But it's okay, I'll just do it another day. Meanwhile, Ernie can get some plant feed, because that's what he does need. Has he been good? He wasn't saying any bad jokes or anything, was he? So what I'll do is when I next go to the garden centre, I'll get some pots, and then you'll have some more growing room, Ernie. The sun has come out, finally. I know I'm making a mess, don't worry. There you go, lad. Snug as a plant in a pot. And that's Ernie done for the day. Say goodbye, Ernie. There we go. While I'm here, let's sort out these and put these in this pot. Stones was in the pot. I'm going to need some bigger stones. Bear with me. And then potting mix. I'm going to go and add a little bit of sand and a little bit. I've got some grit that I used recently. Which is just like some really rough cut stones, and it will just help for the drainage, so I'm going to go and add that. Alright, finally I'm back. Alright, I'm just mixing this in, and I'm going to add a bit more potting mix in the top. Any big twigs or bits of bark I'm just going to throw out. So I'm going to take my cutting, remove the first 2 sections of leaves, and also, if need be, that as well. Taking those off allows for these to become new roots, and the new roots will come out of there. So I'm going to do that with all of these. I took 3 layers off of that one. If any of the leaves like this are really thin, then I'm going to take those off as well. All we need is some leaves to be able to take in some sunlight. Now, you could use some rooting powder. I'm actually not going to worry today, because I've done it before without it, and they actually turn out perfectly fine, so I'm actually not too worried. I'm actually just going to toss a very small amount of this in there. Just a tiny, tiny amount, as I realise then that's sitting in there already, so that's good to go. This is actually the perfect weather for gardening. It's overcast, so you don't get too hot, and it's not raining, so you haven't got to deal with that. And there's no wind at the moment. This is actually perfect. Just going to stick these in there, and then one in the middle. There we go. And then these are probably just going to sit on my bathroom or the kitchen window, somewhere where there is some sunlight. No direct light, nothing that's going to make the soil dry out too much, but just somewhere where these plants can be in a low stress environment for them and start creating roots. And there we go. Right, now I have to show you how these guys are doing. Spike 1, Spike 2 and Spike 3. Yes, that's right, there was 2 last time, there is now 3. These are the same plants that you saw me talk about in September or October. They were just growing so much and they were really compacted in these pots that look like that, about a month ago, month and a half, I divided some of them up and put them into here or here. I can't remember, into that one I'm pretty sure it was. I actually don't even have a pot for this. This is growing so rapidly. I need to get another houseplant pot for this. As you can see, there is some yellowing and some ones that are damaged now. But there are new shoots and it seems pretty green. I think it just needs a little bit of some plant feed, probably a repotting at some point when I can get the right size pot, and maybe just some more sun. Maybe the winter's just made it feel a little bit lackluster, possibly. But otherwise it's all good. So I'm just going to give these some feed, some fresh potting mix on top, and then they should be good to go. Oh God, nearly fell over the hose. Holy shit. A little bit dry, if I'm honest. Shouldn't be too much of a concern, but they are a bit dry. About a teaspoon for each one. With some potting mix over the top. One down. 2 to go. Yeah, there's some real yellowing in this one, but it should be okay. And number 3. I'm going to now pull out any of the yellow stems. They should perk up. I think they're all right. They don't seem too bad, to be honest. If we lose them, we lose them. Can't worry too much. I'm going to cut off this branch. There we go. That's all right. That's looking pretty good. 3 plants, all done. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't even know if you're waterproof. Note to self, don't use the hose right on the camera, Claude, for fuck's sake. Let's put you in there, actually. No. Change my mind. Let's do this one. Yes, there we go. And then I just need to find a pot for you. Does this fit? Yes. 1, 2, and 3. All done. Orchids. Listen, there was originally 3 orchids. The other 2 are gone. I don't know what happened. I treated every one of them the same. One, I think, died honestly within the first month. There could have been some root rot. There might just not have been enough energy in the plant to grow new leaves. It just didn't want to keep going. So that one left us, sadly. The other carried on, I think, until the end of December, but it was really weak. The leaves were yellowing. I didn't really have much hope in it, so I kind of gave up. But this one is still thriving. We have 2 new little leaves in there. We have very healthy green roots, and if I can show you somehow, somewhere in there, hopefully you can see it, either a new root, possibly a stem, not sure, too early to know. We have hope, we have life in one of the old orchids, which is lovely. What I'm going to do is place this one in. I've already watered this one today. There's a little bit of dust on the leaves actually, let me just do that. I thought I got you wet again. Did I? A little bit, never mind. Even the sun has come out, it's so excited for my orchids. Right, let me just wipe this off. Just clean the leaves. We have hope, my dear people, with these orchids. So this is the only one that was left from the original 3 that you saw. But I want to show you, and I've been saving the best till last, man. I want to show you my brand new addition and I love it. It's my favourite thing ever. Look, lads, look at this. Look, I tell you what, I'm gonna clean this because I actually don't want to put it down on something so dirty. It deserves better. Look at this orchid. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it next to my head. Look. Look at this. I don't even know where to put it. There you go. Look. Look at that. Is it not the most magnificent thing you've ever seen? It's got, I haven't even counted the stems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stems. It's beautiful. I don't even have a pot big enough to fit it because I've never seen an orchid this big. Look, flowers all the way around. It is stunning. Some dried roots here, but it's fine because all the fresh ones are inside. It has this little basket thing. My mum and dad got this for me. I think it was like a market shop up in London. It was £20 and it was like an Easter gift. Look, lads, look at it. Isn't it beautiful? I'll go this side instead. Look. Lads, look, isn't it beautiful? Look, even the sun's come out. Thank you. Thank you so much. Look. Lads, it's stunning. It is the most beautiful orchid I've ever seen. And it's mine. And I love it. Honestly, I feel like it's my wedding day. Honestly, look at it. Oh, look, the sun's just come out just for that. Look. Some of the most beautiful orchid flowers I have ever seen. Honestly, it's my favourite thing ever. It's going to be going in my room at some point. I've been keeping it in my bathroom because it has better light in there and I wanted to make sure it's settled in properly. But you'll be seeing this. We need to give her a name. It's a her. She's too beautiful. It's a her. It's a her. It's a, I need something that says bright and yellow and pretty. I'm trying to think of a name. I can't get over how pretty it is. What could I call you? It needs to be a pretty name. I feel it needs to be posh. Esmeralda. Esmeralda. No, the sun's gone in. Maybe it doesn't like it. No, Esmeralda. It seems fitting. Esme. Like Esme from Peaky Blinders. Esme. Oh, Esme. Esme. Esmeralda. Marnie. Like Armani. Kind of works. I've already watered this yesterday, so I don't need to do anything with this, but I just wanted to show you it anyway. I will do another houseplant update in a couple of months. I would love, when I next head to the garden centre, to get some cacti. It's just about getting the right size for the right price and making sure I can take care of it. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you do feel like it, giving the video a thumbs up and clicking subscribe always helps me out. Take very good care of yourself, and I'll see you for the next one. Toodles!